It's your boy Dakota. We're doing a watch party of last week's series between TMG and AMG. So my back is Source team and Old Crow's team. I don't believe Old Crow is playing this week. So I don't know who they got the sub from, but we will see that in a second. So this is just a watch party. We have both the draft laws here for both games. And yeah, so it's not live. So I have the game loaded up already, the replay and everything. So we're just gonna take a look at the team drafts here. So we got TMG on blue side, so Trevor's team on blue side, and we got Ezreal first round pick. Not really a super priority pick right now in the current meta. Jinx was left open, so I'm kind of surprised that Jinx wasn't picked instead of the Ezreal. Ezreal might be a comfort pick for Arch Lecter. I'm not entirely sure, but Ezreal was first round pick. Ashe and Skarner to follow up on that. I do like the Skarner pick into the Ezreal, and looking down one as well, the Braum pick into the Ezreal is also pretty strong. Then we got the Seraphine and Ornn, and then the Braum pick even looking better now that the Ornn has been picked up as well. For bans, we got Tristana, Yorick, and Trundle banned over against ANG. Not to be surprised there. The Yorick banned against Crimson Chin. Probably his most probably his most played champion. Kind of one that he's made people fear. Just letting some people know that we live. And then Kha'Zix, Echo, and Diana, 3 target bans towards Trevor in the first phase there, not wanting him to be on anything he's comfortable on. Is kind of a strategy going against TMG. Just kind of put their quote-unquote most skilled player on something they're not comfortable on to try and throw them off their game. Not a bad strategy, and all 3 of those champions are pretty good in Trevor's hands, so I'm not surprised that they did throw so many in the first phase. And in the second phase bans, we got Poppy against Crimson Chin as well, and then the Vigar. Again, I don't know who's playing. I don't know who played for the Old Crow, but they must have done some scouting and just banned the Vigar. And then Nocturne and Akali ban against TMG. So another ban thrown at Trevor, and then one thrown at Bradley in the mid lane there. So Trevor getting a lot of attention with these bans. So for the first round in the second phase, we got Rumble picked up for Crimson Chin, who I know I was playing some games with them earlier on the week, saying that he kind of forgets that Rumble is a champion. So not surprised that he picked that up now after saying that he was going to at some point. And then Anivia and Olaf picked up on the side of TMG. Anivia is a pretty solid mid laner right now. Skills really hard, has a lot of wave control, and just really good team fighting. That wall alone is able to just split up an entire team fight, or essentially trap somebody in her ultimate, which does a lot of damage in the late game. So Anivia is a really strong pick right now that's seen a lot of success in the beer league so far. And then Olaf, not really one I've seen Trevor play. I've played with a couple normals with him on the Olaf, and he didn't look bad. So resorting to the Olaf instead of the Vi here was an interesting pick. And then Cassiopeia for the counter pick. Not sure how Cassiopeia does into Anivia. I would assume not terribly bad. If Cassiopeia can get that moon speed and dodge the Anivia stun, Anivia doesn't do much to Cassio, but she has a really consistent amount of DPS. So I'm interested to see who's playing for the Old Crow and how well they play this matchup. Based on the team compositions that I see, I really like Angie's team comp here. A lot of kiting potential, a lot of potential disengage with the Braum ulti and the Rumble ulti, as well as a lot of engage between the Skarner, the Braum, and the Rumble as well. Really aiming towards that team fight pick team fight, like start the team fights by getting a pick with either Asher or Skarner ult. So I really am into that sort of team composition for Angie. TMG picking pretty safe lanes. Ezreal Seraphine kind of hard to die in that scenario. Seraphine has a huge movement speed boost, a huge shield and heals, has a really strong disengage ultimate, and Ezreal has his arcane shift to stay out of trouble. So really safe lanes in the Ornn and the Anivia as well, but with a really hyper aggressive jungler like Olaf. So they do have some gank set up in all three lanes between the Ornn knockup, the Anivia stun, and the Seraphine route. But outside of that, Olaf is pretty much just going to be running at him with really no hard form of CC. So, TMG's drafts is just slightly interesting here with that Olaf pick. They kind of had an idea in mind, it seems like, with the Ezreal, Seraphine, Ornn, and Anivia, and then just threw a hyper-aggressive early-game jungler like Olaf in there. So, I don't know. I do really like ANG's team comp, though. I think if they can execute this well, this game going into the mid to late game team guides should be pretty easy for them. So, without further ado here, I have the game loaded up already. Let's do that. And real quick, I am just gonna pull this up, and then we're just gonna do that, switch this over, just so I can watch the chat. Okay. And I haven't casted in a while, so bear with me here as I get everything set up here. Take off time controls so that we don't get any spoilers. Let's zoom out the camera and let's get to it. No. Kind of need the time controls to start because I don't know what the P. Okay. Kind of need the time controls to start because I don't know what the P. Alright. And we are live. Let's go. Going back to what I was saying, I really do like ANG's team composition. I think it's a really strong team comp that... Oh, and I just realized I forgot to mute the stream. There we go.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
ANG's team composition is really strong. Going for that mid-game fight, trying to start off these fights with a lot of pick. But they do have a really strong AoE ultimates with the Cassiopeia ult, the Braum ult, the Rumble ult. So I'd really like to see ANG try to get an early game lead with this Skarner and the amount of CC they have in their lanes. And hopefully can push that towards a mid-game teamfight win that could push them towards the victory. I think in terms of TMG, I think they need to play super safe. They did draft really safe lanes, so I would hope that they would play really safe and just try and kind of scale, wait for Trevor to show up, try to find a good gank. Because I don't think any of their lanes really wins lane. So, but we'll see. Going into the runes here, we got Arcane Comment on the Rumble, Lethal Tempo on the Ashe. Let's actually rearrange these guys real quick. Okay. Arcane Comment on the Rumble, Lethal Tempo on the Ashe, Phase Rush on the Skarner. That's an interesting one. Instead of Hillblaze or Conqueror that he's pretty used to going. Conqueror, good low click damage going down. Seraphine with a nice root, but Ashe W will deter it. Conqueror on the Cassiopeia, which is to be expected, and his Scoop subbing in. It looks like they have 3 substitutes this week. Lamb Chops, Scoops, and Zachary. Wow, big damage coming out from Anivia here. Little skirmish in the mid lane. Cassiopeia will fall. Those are not trades you can try and take because Anivia still has the egg. Like, what was she planning on doing after that? Just because he cleansed the stun doesn't mean you don't take the damage. Like, that was a Interesting play coming out of Cassiopeia. Good little poke coming out from both sides. Going back to the runes here, we got Guardian on the Braum, which I think is the pretty standard rune for him. And then you got Aftershock again on the Ornn. I don't understand why he takes Aftershock. The only way he can proc it is with his knockup or his ultimate. So I'm not entirely sure as to why he takes Aftershock. But we got Conquer on the Olaf, which is pretty standard. That or Lethal Temple recently. We got Electrocute on the Anivia. That's pretty aggressive. We got Conquer and Guardian in the bot lane. And we got 2 cleanses in the game. One on the Cassiopeia in the mid lane, one on Archlector on the Ezreal, which I think is pretty needed. Quite a lot of CC coming out from the side of TMG. And ANG bot lane playing really aggressive here, trying to force them off the wave. Braum Q does not land. It takes a little bit of poke in return. So, really nice early kill coming out from the really bad Zed in the mid lane of Anivia here. Good knockup coming out of the Ornn. He does have that Aftershock, but he chooses not to fight. He will run away. Like, why take it if you're not going to use it? Ezreal seeing Braum going up, and Olaf is here. The Braum will get caught out here, but I think he's just going to flash over the wall, and he will. Clean escape from the Braum, being caught a little out of position there. The knockup does miss, but Ornn gets his full W out with the auto attack, which does a lot of damage. Imagine if you had a grasp. In the lane gank coming out from Lamb Chops, but he is choosing to back out quite the large wave crashing into the turret, so it might take a long time for that wave to be cleared out. Good poke coming out of the Seraphine here, but she is out of mana. If Braum lands a Q here, they have a chance to kill, I think. But that sudden level up with that mana will deter it. Yeah, that was actually a big mini wave. It probably would have been a bad idea to fight. But yeah, I think the key to victory for ANG here is to for Skarner probably to focus the top side of the map, get a lot of ganks down in the top and mid lane, get those 2 really strong carries ahead, and they can pretty much turn the team fights around and dictate the entire team fight based off their basic skill sets and their ultimates. So I think Lamb Chop, MSC, yeah, Lamb Chop should probably focus more up the top side of the map. I think Olaf probably should focus the bot side. Ezreal does turn into that very, very slippery, scary hyperscale like carry in the late game. Once he has 2 items, he becomes a really, really strong. So I think my back is sort of trying to get the Ezreal ahead and get him onto the power spike as early as possible is probably the way to go. And Skarner is caught up on a ward here, and Seraphine is here, but she does not have the double. Oh, nice wall coming out of the Anivia, forces the Skarner to flash. Very nicely done by really bad Zed there. And it looks like they will just start off the dragon, I think. Or they're just playing some wards. Olaf catching the rumble here. I don't think you take this fight. It does not land. More big damage coming out of the Anivia here. Cassiopeia choosing to try and fight it out, but the ult does not stun. Really big chunk of damage though. Oh my god, the Braum Q lands. Ashe using that Superior range to poke them down under the turret. And taking a look at the CS here, the only real major CS lead is in the jungle. Olaf and power farming, as Olaf does. Skarner trying to get more ganks off and farm, it seems like. But he is counter jungling the red buff right now, which is a smart move. And it will be pinged out, so I think Trevor has an idea of what's going on here. The Rumble ultimate comes out looking to clear the wave. And they didn't fully rotate for it. The bot lane was moving up there. They had an idea of what was happening, but Skarner was able to snatch the red buff and get out. Like, he is still 20 CS down. Yeah, the gold lead about 400 gold in the jungle right now on the side of Trevor. And Trevor is sniffing it out here, and he will find it. Trevor steals the blue buff in return. Braum looking to move up, Ashe as well, but blue side did rotate first. Ooh, good luck coming out of Anivia there, but the wall does not land. It seems like this will be, I wouldn't say a free dragon. I think they will not be able to. That's no prow from the bot lane, and mid lane it's not moving either. So big, nice first dragon pickup there from TMG. Rumble trying to abuse the Ornn here, forcing him out. I really do like the really early null magic mantle. That 25 sheer magic resist does a lot into Rumble. But he still is getting poked down here quite a bit. Rumble using his ultimate to stop Ornn's back and keep him in the lane. Ornn probably can stay. Rumble is a really super short range champion. So in order to use his his highest damage ability, he has to get up and close, which would put him next to the turret for Ornn. But Ornn's just gonna play really safe here. The snare does not land. Trevor backing in the alcove here. So pretty even early game here for both these teams. Gold lead is almost exactly even. One dragon can take over to the side of TMG, which is a nice early game lead. Nice splash coming out of Seraphine. That would have been probably like a 2-second stun, which might have been able to lead to the death. Ezreal is out of mana, so if you're looking to fight here, now is the time. But the Ashe arrow has been blown already. Ooh, nice Anivia stun coming out. Has to flash out. Cassiopeia flashing over the wall. Anivia flashed as well. Cassiopeia is able to heal up after Eve. Oh, she does hit the kill though before she goes down into the egg. Skarner does not have the damage for this. The Ornn ultimate is missed, but it looks like Trevor is going for this. Skarner taking a lot of damage here, but he doesn't die. I think Olaf does go down. He does. Skarner picks up a kill off the failed dive. Nicely done by Lamb Chops. Yeah, I think Sergeant Mithril there missed his headbutt on his ultimate, which is always kind of sad, like a sad day. But I don't think it might have reached. I'm not sure if it would have. So I'm gonna say it wouldn't have. So I don't think that was a huge factor in that failed dive at all. Nice knockout coming out of the Ornn. He does have the aftershock. He can pursue this, and he sees it too. He doesn't have the ultimate though. He does have flash. Seraphine all coming out as well. Scraps happening all over the map. Seraphine not able to catch up to the Braum though, and Braum will just walk out. Anivia looking for the kill actually here. Nice jump out from the Braum, the Guardian, saving the Cassio some damage as well. And Trevor's looking to get this Rift Herald. Goldie is still pretty even. Ezreal wins this duel, I think. No, oh my god, the Ashe Arrow. Woo! I forgot how much damage a level 1 Ashe Arrow does. It's actually quite a bit, I believe. But that did a chunk of damage. And Ashe already had her Q stacked up as well. Yeah, Trevor, that Olaf is kind of garbage. You said it. First-hand experience. But yeah, you can't really fight the Ashe while she already has her Q stacked. That was actually just a really surprising amount of damage coming out of Ashe. Like I'm genuinely surprised by that. Looks like Ezreal is going into the Essence Reaver build, which I would assume also leads into the Dust Blade, or he could be going Crown. I don't think Crown would be a bad idea here. it would force them to have to try and pop it. So if he remains relatively safe at the beginning of these team fights, he can't be like Skarner ulted, he can't be Cassio ulted, he can't be Ashe ulted. So I think Crown might be the play for Ezreal here. The Gordricker is finished up for the Olaf. Skarner only has his Bambi Cinder and a Cloth Armor. I would assume he's working into that Chem Tech. But a nice 12-minute Mythic for Olaf here. And that's his power farming at its finest. And actually a large, not a large gold lead, about 700 gold lead for the side of TMG right now. Nice flash ultimate coming out of Skarner. But the Cassio Miasma is mistimed. Anivia on the back line, and she does wall herself off. Nice wall coming out of Anivia to keep herself alive there, but Seraphine will fall to the Cassiopeia. Anivia trying to get out. I don't think she does, though. Oh my god. Boy, he does go down to Bambi Cinder, actually picks that one up. Olaf flashing in, picks up the kill onto Rumble. That Gore Drinker keeping him alive, and that will be Skarner going down as well. I don't know if they fight this one. Cassio is really slippery. Cassio doing a lot of damage, even to the full tank Gordon here. The Conqueror has been procced. Braum looking for more, but I think Cassio just wants to step out. Really scrappy fight coming out from ANG and TMG here in the mid lane. And in the mid lane, 2 for 2, going dead even. 2 kills picked up on Skarner, and I think 1 kill picked up on Skarner and 1 on Cassio. So fun game so far, guys. Really fun game. I wish I would have casted this one live. This would have been hype. Cassio misses the ultimate after she gets spotted on the sweeper. The exhaust comes out. Does she have enough damage? She does not. Seraphine has to flash out. Good look from Scoops though. Blows the double summoner off of Lucy Lulu. Good guy. Lamb Chops handing over the blue buff to his mid laner. Olaf catches the Braum, trying to clear some vision here, and aggroes the dragon. Braum takes a large chunk of damage. Excuse me. Hey Trevor, is my mic picking up okay? I just want to know. Like I muted my audio on the stream. Okay, perfect. Thank you, man. Alright, so second dragon going over to the TMG, but it looks like AMG will be getting the first tower here in the top lane for Crimson Chin. That CS advantage
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
with Crimson Chin is huge. 53 CS, Rumble is up. Oh, nice engage coming out to Ashe. And it will be a pickup for Zachary Bink. I wonder if that's a play on words with Zachary Binks from Focus. I hope it is. Oh my god, Ezreal is getting blown up there. Both ultimates were being picked up. And Olaf is able to pick up one. Can he lifesteal up? He cannot. He will go down to Skarner. Ashe, that Kraken Slayer doing a lot of work in that fight. I could raise the volume. I will do that after this game because it would force me to actually get out. Oh my god, big wall coming out of Anivia, but the tower aggro was not there. A lot of damage though. It's Anivia doing a massive crap ton of damage already at 60 minutes in the game. And he is spied up on a blue ward here. Skarner taking a lot of damage. Oh, the stun. But the Kraken Slayer Ashe is going out. Anivia has to flash out. Ashe going for more. Does pop the egg. And she's just going to try and focus down the Seraphine. And, well, not the Seraphine, the Ashe. And does get it. And she still lives too and is able to kite up. Another kill picked up for Best Brendan. This Ashe is playing out of his mind. Nicely done. God, it really is hard to cast these games as one person. You can't. It's hard to get everything that's going on. All right, let's take a look at the items over here real quick. Orin does not have his mythic finished up yet. Rumble did opt into the Rift Maker, which I think is fine. I personally think Proto Belt is better in almost every scenario on Rumble, but Rift Maker is not bad. Rumble jumping out on Orin as he's trying to build Iron here. Orin does get the knockdown, big damage coming out, but Rumble will just return it. Orin, you just gotta fight him. You're taking so much burn damage. That's right, he doesn't have grasp. If he had grasp, I think he wins these trades easily. But anyway, going back to the items here, Skarner does have that Chemtech. Leandry's picked up for the Cassiopeia, Kraken Slayer for the Ashe, and I would assume that's a Locket going down onto the Braum. Cassiopeia finds Anivia in the top lane bush here, flashes over the wall, and is able to pick up the solo kill. Scoobs taking down really bad Zed. Nice pickup there. Alright, Mythic's over to the side of TMG now. The Sunfire Kip is picked up for Orin. I think Frostfire would have been a little bit better. These teams are really wily with the Ashe Kite and the Cassiopeia Kite with the Braum slows and all that stuff. And Seraphine getting picked out again here once again. Skarner flash ults the Ezreal. The Braum ult comes out the chain CC, and the kill will be picked up by the Rumble ultimate. 3 ultimates fall in the mid lane here to pick up the 1 champion. But this could lead into the second Rift Herald. I think they have time to do it. Yeah, I don't know if I completely agree with the Sunfire on the Orange. I think Crossfire would have been a lot better into this kind of really wily team of Ashe and Cassiopeia, with all the slows coming out of Skarner, Rumble, and Braum. So, yeah, I don't know about that one. Gore Drinker and Hex Drinker picked up for the Olaf. I like that. A lot of AP on the side of ANG, so the Hex Drinker will be having a lot of value with those Merc Treads as well. Leandry's picked up for Anivia. I would assume that Kindle Gem and Tier will be going into an Archangel's next. Essence Reaver picked up for Ezreal with the Caulfield's Warhammer, which I would assume, again, will be the Mirror Mana Beam picked up next as well. And no Mythic yet on the side of Seraphine. And Braum went into the, what is it called? Evantraub? Interesting pick. Braum being picked up once again, has to flash over the wall. Nicely done. Really bad Zed. Placing these walls immaculately this game. I think Cass is a really good pick in Organized 5. Really strong champion in fights. Oh my god, Rumble getting picked up. Does have Bersonia as this fight is breaking out. So Skarner ults the Anivia. But Ashe is left unprotected in the backline. Same with Rumble. Rumble and Ashe taken down by the united front of TMG. This team fight is going over the way of TMG very rapidly. Olaf trying to stay alive. Cassiopeia pretty much dodging so many skill shots here, but will finally be picked up by Archlector. It will be a 2 for 4 for the side of TMG. Big fight coming out TMG. Was able to pick up the 3rd dragon as well as get double the kill counter. Nicely done. And I have to commend pretty much everybody on the side of TMG for that fight. Trevor doing his role, being a disruptor as the Olaf. And then everybody else focusing the backline of ANG, getting that Ashe picked up and that Rumble picked off, the 2 most, well, besides Cassiopeia, which Olaf was zoning off. The 2 heaviest DPS champions on the side of ANG, so very nicely done team fight coming out of TMG. And TMG is blue side. I realize that I don't have the overlay. I don't need to talk to Ben about getting that. I don't know much about that sort of stuff, but I will get it. Or talk to Trevor about getting it. So the second repair of the game does come out, and it does pick up the mid-point turret. Nicely done by Angie to also get these objectives. But the three dragons, that will be a 25-minute soul point dragon, and it will be Mountain Soul, which is actually pretty big. That's probably the best soul you can ask for going into this ANG team comp, is Mountain Soul. Just getting that upfront shield to defend against any sort of pick that ANG wants to do is actually pretty big. And you have the two probably tankiest members or tankiest players in the game on Wop and Ornn. So yeah, Mountain Soul is a really good RNG for TMG this game. Olaf taking the blast bomb over, has the ult to stop himself from being stunned. Just a really risky blast bomb there. Ornn looking for the heavy engage here. He does get the damage. The headbutt does come out. It is a Duke. Oh my god. Who's gonna win? Oh my god. Ornn solo kills the Crimson Chin. Nicely done. And Crimson Chin just kind of just standing there. I kind of want to know what his thoughts were on that. Like, I get that you're overheating and you get attack speed and you do more damage as you hit, but you got to move around. You know, like the less he can hit you, the better. And you're fortunate enough to have an ability that is casting as you move. So you got to work with that. You can't just sit there and trade blows with them when you have the ability to not have that happen. Essentially, like move around and still do damage. Yes, he does. Mithril is getting a lot of solo kills these past few weeks, so good on that guy, honestly. He's shown a lot of improvement. Like, if I were to rate your team now, Trevor, I wouldn't say it's legal, because Sergeant Mithril definitely has improved a lot. A lot. Alright. So we are heading into the mid game now. Baron has spawned about 5 minutes ago. 50 seconds on the Soul Point Dragon here. ANG need to fight over this, and it is showing. They're trying to get some early vision, which is what they really do need to do. Fair enough. Yeah, if you don't have team cohesion, you can't really do much. Good vision control coming out for ANG here. And return by TMG trying to get as much in there as they can. Not sure what Sergeant Mithril is doing here. He needs to head down. The thing about ANG's team comp is that you can't lead with Ornn, because the Braum shield will just stop it. I learned that the hard way last week. Ooh, nice pickup on the Cassiopeia. Forces the flash out. The Ezreal picks up the Rumble and the Braum. The nice Anivia ult. Wall. Forcing him out. The Ornn ult does come out. Misses everything. Huge Seraphine ult coming out though. Big play coming out of Lucy Lulu. Trevor is in the backline trying to chunk out as much as he can. That huge Mom Malmortius comes out, and a lot of healing as well. Holy crap, Lucy Lulu. Enormous Seraphine ult. She is straight up the reason TMG won that team fight right there. Trevor diving the backline as well, staying alive. No heal cut besides Rumble. I think he actually just bought it too. On the side of ANG, so holy crap. Even with the whipped Ornn ultimate, that was still a huge team fight for TMG. Very nicely done by Lucy there. And good pickup on the cast too, forcing that flash. I would agree. Jello. Nice pickup on the Cassiopeia flash right before the fight too. It did really well to split the team up. The Anivia wall stopped Braum from moving back to his team. I think it might have actually stopped him mid-dash too, which is actually huge because he forced the Braum wall and the Rumble wall before the fight even began. ANG did pick up the Dragon, so they stalled the Soul Point just a little bit longer. But going 0 for 4 in that team fight is pretty sad. Yeah, pretty much. Like if you get paid anything, you're technically a pro for what you're doing, don't you? We could call ourselves pro players if the league just pays us $1 a game, or just $1 a month. And then we're all pros. Garner looking for the flash. I guess he doesn't even have flash, so I don't know what he's trying to do there. He's better off just clearing the vision around the chickens here and trying to get a flank. But this game is very even. 28 minutes, only a 3K gold lead for the side of TMG. Probably one of the smaller gold leads we've seen at this point in time in the league. So big Braum shield, and that's exactly why you can't lead these fights with the Ornn ultimate. Alright. ANG does have a pretty good team comp to stifle this Baron push, though. They have a lot of weight clear with Cassiopeia and Rumble. So not much that TMG can do here besides trying to sit on the turret and poke. It looks like Ezreal did go into the Crown build as well, which I think is the right move. Black Cleaver for the side of Trevor. He's looking to be this bruiser. We're going. Oh, big Anivia wall coming out. The Ornn and another huge Seraphine ult, but the Anivia wall kind of cuts me. His own team. Big play coming out of both Really Bad Zed and Sergeant Mithril. I thought the Ornn was supposed to. I thought the Ornn was supposed to break the Anivia wall. Am I wrong? Or is that only when it's the I thought Ornn only enemies? Okay. Well, that's kind of lame. He breaks his own Q. I don't know. I think that's just spaghetti coding. Then. Yeah, I don't know how that works then, because it breaks some things of your teams, but it doesn't break all your things. Like, it doesn't break an Anivia wall, but it'll break J4 Cataclysm. It's kind of weird. Alright, getting back into the game here. We have Zhonya's picked up for the Rumble. He's already had that. It looks like he's working towards finishing his Morellos. Which is fine. I think third eye Morellos is fine. I think you could probably go more into the like if you're gonna if I would just sit on the Oblivion Orb and go into that Everflame. I think Everflame is such a big item here. You have the Seraphine shields. You have a lot of healing coming out of Olaf. They're about to get Mountain Soul, so the Everflame will pretty much proc on everybody. Ashe playing frontline here, actually really dangerous. Ballsy Zachary Wink here. And it looks like ANG are just gonna try and burn it down. Big Rumble, big Seraphine all over the wall. The Ornn does not land his ultimate, but the Olaf is just staying alive in these fights. Hugely done by Really Bad Zed as well as Sergeant Mithril. Sergeant Mithril did miss his ultimate again, but the Lucy Liu ult over the wall was huge. And then my Bacchus sword is diving the back line, just walking past everybody and just going after that Ashe, going after that Rumble. Is eventually taken down by the Cassiopeia, but not before he's able to do his job. Really nicely done by the entire side of TMG. Sergeant Mithril, man, you gotta hit these ultimates, dude. I don't know if you're stunned or something, but I think just walked right by you for like the second time in this game. You gotta hit those, man. Big stun coming out of Really Bad Zed there. That wall was huge. And this will be Cassiopeia going down. That might just be the game. Oh! Ezreal almost going down to Cassiopeia, my ass, and he still might go down to the burn. So Ornn just tanking so much of the tower here. He is able to get it on the Ashe. Nice redirect coming out of the Ornn. Big play, Sergeant. Oh. And Sergeant Mithril flashing a bit to the turret after I just commended him. but you will be able to get the kill on the Rumble. Nice, another really nice Anivia wall. The stun will come out in the E. Really bad Zed. Making plays on this Anivia. These walls are huge. Really big play coming out of Orin as well. He redirected that Orin ultimate. You thought he was going to shoot it at the Rumble or the Braum, but he shot it at the Ashe, and that was actually a really big play. So, Sergeant Mithril coming in clutch there at the end, as well as Robez that's controlling this game pretty significantly as well. And it will be GG going over to TMG with the deathless Sergeant Mithril. And he was part of 15 of the 23 kills. Very nicely done by Sergeant Mithril this game. Alright. And let's switch over. Wow. Really good game. Really scrappy in the early game. I really like that. The first mid-game team fights were kind of going both ways. No one really getting the upper hand. And that's something I also really enjoy seeing too. Just kind of like equal game tension throughout the entire game. Going into like the later mid game though, those team fights started really heavily going in the way of TMG, and a lot of that had to do with the Nivea setup and the Seraphine ultimates. Really nicely done, honestly, by the entirety of TMG. Everyone knowing what they need to do, and big shout out to Lucy Lulu for like 3 or 4 incredible Seraphine ultimates. So nicely done by the entire side of TMG. They definitely deserve that win for how they played. I commend A&G as well, though. They had a really strong early game, but they didn't respect the spacing that you need to give TMG. You have the initiate as A&G. You have the initiate. There's no reason like with that Ashe at that dragon fight was pretty much frontlining. Like she was up there like face to face with an Olaf and right in range of like a Nivea Q, a Nivea wall, and that's just not the situation you can really put yourself in. You know, like you need to have that spacing when it comes to especially when it comes to like a Nivea and Ornn and Seraphine. You have to give that space or else you're gonna get picked off. I think A&G definitely had a really strong team comp. I think the execution of it going into the mid game was really off. They did have a couple of really nice plays. They had some really good picks, but I think it could have been just executed just a little bit better. But no, kudos to TMG. I didn't say I'm gonna count that as a draw for me because I didn't actually say who I thought was gonna win. I just think A&G had the better team comp, but wasn't able to execute it as well as they should have been. But yeah, so with that, I'm just gonna I gotta end this game real quick, and then I gotta load up the second one. And we'll just wait that to load before I go over to the draft law here. Ooh, that's a really cool Lissandra skin. Porcelain. Alright, we're gonna pause that. Come back over. Alright. Now, let's just head right into the second game here with the draft. Spicy looking game, honestly. I could only assume that is Zed. That is Zed in the jungle. Trevor's been saying that he's gonna try playing that, and I can only assume that's what this is right now, unless it's Lissandra jungle, which I've done and had some success on. So I don't know. But anyway, let's go in order here. So A&G had first pick this time, and they opted into the same bans as last game. Kha'Zix, Echo, and Diana in the first phase. Yorick, Trundle, and Ashe this time. Kind of a respect ban going over to Zachary, because he did play that really well. he played that Ashe game very, very well. So I'm not surprised that a respect ban was thrown that way. And then for the first pickup, for the first round pickup of ANG, they did go into Tristana. I would have to assume I'm just gonna call it. I think that I think Scoops is playing Tristana. Whether he's playing ADC this game or mid lane this game, I don't know. But I think Scoops is playing Tristana. Because that could be Morg, Leona, Morg ADC with Leona support is actually a pretty strong lane. It has a lot of CC chain, it has a lot of damage. So I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of go for a cheesiness like that. But I think Scoops is on Tristana, whether it's in mid or in bot. And then to counter that, Ezreal, nice pick. I think Ezreal's not that strong at the Tristana. I don't think Ezreal's really that strong at anybody that can kind of jump on you, sort of thing. But he didn't have a bad showing on it. He didn't do great last game, but he didn't have a bad showing on it. So I'm kind of not surprised that it was picked up again. But Jinx was left open again, which and Jin. Oh, my camera fell. My bad. But Jinx and Jin, both two really strong power picks, were left open both these games, and neither team picked it. So, interesting. So Ezreal was picked up, and then Zed. And like I said before, I think this is a Zed jungle. Trevor has been talking about playing it. I personally think it's pretty good. It's just like any other assassin in the jungle. Kiana, Talon, any assassin in jungle, Blue Cane, stuff like that. Pretty much just looking to one-shot somebody and get out. And with his passive, he has really good clear. So I don't know. I think Zed jungle's good. We'll see how Trevor plays it this game. And then going over to back to the side of ANG that did opt into the Sejuani. I'm a really big fan of Sejuani, so I'm happy to see that pick. And then Leona as well. So a couple of really hard engagers, a couple of frontliners with a lot of CC. Love to see it in pretty much any team comp, whether it be a pick comp or a team fight comp. So really like to see that. And I just remembered I should probably turn my mic up just a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. And then going back over to TMG for the last pick of the first round, and it is Thresh. Honestly, a really solid pick going into what ANG already has drafted. Really safe, able to get anybody that's caught by the Leona Sejuani out safely with the lantern. So all they have to do is actually hit the lantern, and not a lot of people like to do that. So, and then we got, for the second round bans, we got Ornn. Nice respect ban. Sergeant Mithra had a really good game on it last game, even though he missed some R2s. I'm just going to call them R2s, the second part of his ultimate. But that's really okay. Like, you can miss those, but still have a lot of impact on in the team fight, simply because you're Ornn. You do a lot of damage. You're a huge, beefy frontline tank, and he did have a lot of presence. He even solo killed Crimson Chin once. You can't really snuff this guy on the Ornn. He's had a lot of success with it. And then the Nidalee ban going over against Trevor. So I'm thinking they thought that this would be really bad Zed on the Zed in the mid lane. So I could understand why they banned the Nidalee, not knowing that Trevor would be playing it. And then second phase bans for TMG, the Poppy again against Crimson Chin, and then the Brand. I think the Brand was more of a Charlie ban, but Charlie isn't playing this week, so I'm not sure why they banned Brand. The ANG does have 3 subs, so maybe one of them plays Brand. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, so we're just gonna put that as like a fluke ban. All right, and then Lissandra is picked up for R1 in the second phase. Judging by like if Yon wasn't in that picture, judging by that team comp, I would assume that would be a Lissandra top. So I'm curious to see what Crimson Chin chooses to pick into it. And it was the Akali. Akali and Morgana being picked up for ANG. Again, looking at this this lineup for ANG, I would assume that would be a Morgana mid lane, but I don't think it is. I think that's Scoobs on Tristana in the mid lane, and then Morgana Leona bot. Because I know Scoobs plays the champion. I know he's good at Tristana, and Tristana mid is very cheesy, which is something that, like, if you're going into the second game already lost behind, you're kind of desperate. You're trying to come up with something that you could just throw at the enemy team to pick up a win. So I think that I really believe that is Tristana in the mid lane. And then to counteract, TMG picked up the Yone. And at this point, ANG's probably like, well, crap. Like we took our second phase ban of Nidalee and threw it at Trevor, and Trevor's now just playing Zed in the jungle. But really good early picking up the flex Zed. So, and that's exactly why champions are flex champions. So really nicely done draft by TMG. I do like their team composition. They pretty much only drafted into damage, and those kind of team compositions are really risky, especially when it comes to a team that has a lot of CC like ANG. Because pretty much, like, Lissandra essentially plays like an assassin. Yone plays like an assassin. He's a really consistent DPS assassin that can tank and, like, survive team fights, but he plays just like an assassin. And then Zed is an assassin. And then there's no really strong frontline tank on the side of TMG besides Thresh, who is kind of like more of a pseudo tank than he is an actual tank. So really risky team composition coming out of TMG, especially knowing that ANG have the super tanks of Leona, the super CC tank bots of Leona and Sejuani already. So I like the ballsiness. I do really like all damage team comps. Like, you're just looking to put out a crap ton of damage as quickly as possible in such a short amount of time that the enemy team doesn't have any way to respond to it. Because pretty much the entirety of TMG is kind of just like a blow your load kit, you know? Everybody wants to throw all their abilities out at the same time, do as much damage in quick succession as possible. So I do really like those team compositions. I think it's a little risky going into the double frontline tank of ANG with the CC behind Leona, Sejuani, and Morgana. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out for him. I'm just saying I really like the picks. All right, so we're just going to switch this over. We're going to open this up, drop this. All right, let's do our little quick setup here. Zoom out, scoreboard, get rid of the time controls, objective. So based off lineup, this is Scoobs in the mid lane. Which I really like, and I just like being right sometimes, so I'll take it. Alright, so let's just get right into it here. Alright, let's quickly go over runes here. Let's get rid of chat. I do agree. Flexing on red side is a really big. Oh my god, I was not paying attention. Big pickup. And, oh, my back is sort of going down. I was reading the chat. Oof. You can't be. Oh, another big binding coming out of Morgana, and the Ezreal did blow flash. Nice slow coming out of Sergeant Mithril, but oh my God, Arc Collector will be taken down as well. Another big Morgana binding. Lissandra has to flash over the wall. Oh my God.
Minions have spawned.
A solid 1k gold lead at 1 minute into the game. Trevor, you cannot be that predictable, but everybody knows that you go for that ward. Oh, I was looking at chat. I was reading chat when I didn't even realize that ANG like moved into that river bush. Wow. Rip. Rip. Yeah, Zachary landing these Morg binds. So no, it will be dang, I was wrong. It will be Scoobs in the bot lane on the Tristana. Man, I thought I had a big brain play there. I was right that Scoobs is on Trist though. All right. Going into runes here, we got the Electrocute on Crimson Shin. So that makes me assume that he'd probably be going into full damage build. Otherwise, he'd probably be taking Grasp. We got Aftershock on the Sejuani, pretty standard. Comment on the Morgana, pretty standard. And then Hail Blades and Aftershock in the bot lane. Big pickup level 2. Scoob's going in. Is able to get the... Oh, the nice hook comes out. Nicely done by Lucy Lulu, and she will walk out as well. Big hook saving Arch Lecter there. I think that one last auto would have killed Arch Lecter. So really big play coming up Lucy Lulu. My Backusaur is in the bot lane here looking for a play. Big play flash coming, flash blade coming out, but the hook does miss. Nice stun coming out of the Leona here. And he will go down to the red buff burn. And Thresh walks out with one hit. And my Backusaur coming back in. He messes up his EWQ combo. Ooh, big bomb. And he does get the reset. I wonder if he's gonna try and make a play here. I'm really curious here. His W should be up, and he's just deciding to play it safe. Hey man, you probably would kill the Ezreal, the Tristana too if you didn't mess up your combo, Trevor. But all right, going back to the runes here, we got Electrocute in the top lane for Sergeant Mithril. This guy just picked some really interesting runes. I don't know if I would have went Electrocute. I think it's fine. Alessandra does give a really nice chunk of damage. But I would assume that she'd be going kind of a more tankier build here, seeing as she's probably going to be the one to initiate these team fights. But I could be wrong. And then first strike on my Backusaur, that's kind of spicy. Usually you would take Electrocute. Fair enough. Lethal Temple on the Yone in the mid lane. Conquer again on the Ezreal. Big play coming out of a really bad Zed here. And this is one of his signature champions. This is a champion that we love seeing Bradley on. So excited to see what kind of plays he makes here. Leona looking for the play here. He gets the CC down. The exhaust comes out. The pool came out just a little late, but I'm assuming that's because she didn't have mana. And one summoner is blown for the side of ANG and one for the side of TMG. And fucking camera keeps falling. I think it's because I shake my leg and it shakes my desk. Big hook coming out of Thresh there, but the Leona does a nice little nasty E of her own. And I think Tristana DC'd here. Yep, Tristana did DC. And she is back. Okay, interesting. Really quick DC. And then For the last final rune, we got Glacial Augment on the Lucy Lulu. I think Glacial Augment on Thresh is insanely powerful. You have several ways to proc it. Landing that hook, and then so when he lands the hook, the Glacial comes out from that spot, and then it pulls them. So essentially, that Glacial spot is cutting off their escape, which is huge. Like that's such a really strong mechanic. Big chunk of damage coming out on Leona, and Leona will fall to Arch Lecter. Nice gank coming out. My back is sore. Misses parts of his combo again, but that's okay. I just have to keep mentioning it, or else he won't learn. Just clearing out some vision here, but my back is sore is doing this dragon without clearing any sort of vision on it, which is pretty risky, and he's already half health. Sejuani going over the wall, but she is a level down. That doesn't matter with Smite nowadays, though. Sejuani looking for the play. Misses this W2 onto Zed. He will be taken down. Very big Yono coming out. Do as much damage as he can before he has to back out. Lucy Lulu is taken down by the Morgana. And the Ezreal has to flash out of the Morgana Q. This team composition for ANG is working out really well. Sejuani is really low here. I don't know why he keeps panning me up to the top lane here when this is a devil of a skirmish going on down here. And it just keeps resetting. It looks like they're just opting into backing out entirely. Yep, just letting it reset and walk back the lane. No first dragon just yet. Big plays coming out both sides. I think that was a 1-for-1. Ooh, big Lissandra ult. And is able to flash out before the second part of Akali ultimate could come off cooldown. So pretty big play coming out of Sergeant Mithril there. Or maybe Akali didn't use ultimate. Doesn't look like it. Ooh, the Morgana Q misses. That would have been a pretty sick, nasty one. Would have done a lot of damage. Leona E misses as well. So 100% KP on 3 members of the side of ANG. Really strong early game coming out. 100% KP on the side of TMG as well on 3 members. So the classic Thresh gank. Ooh, nice flash coming out. Scoops, and he gets the ultimate off. Nicely done. And he dodges the Ezreal ultimate. Trevor getting outplayed. So nicely done timing by Scoops to flash out the Zed load after his ultimate. And to ult him away before he could take one more hit. One more hit, even just an auto would have ended in Scoops' death. So, really nicely done by Scoops. And nicely done by Breast Brendan as well. To hard CC him down. Classic fight over the scuttle here, but it looks like TMG is just gonna give it up. No, it looks like they're gonna go for a skirmish here. Zed chunking down the Akali, but doesn't have the damage outside of that. Sejuani is here, and she was seen by the Zed clone. So, kind of dancing around here, not really looking to make a solid engage. I think Sejuani had the look there. The Akali ultimate was up as well. I think they could have made a play in that top lane there. Zed had literally just used his shadow. He had no flash up, no mobility at all. His ult wasn't up either. I think they could have definitely made a play onto my back is sore, but might just been a slight miscommunication of summoners or ultimate timers or whatnot. say, she just used her Q. This is actually a pretty big play. And this will be Sergeant Mithra going down. Nicely done by Crimson Chin. Playing around the timers. Ooh, misses combo again. Trevor just not having good luck on this. But looks like he might be going in here. The Ezreal does miss. And this Zachary Vink guy is actually really impressive. Oh, the Sejuani ult doesn't hit the right person. Nicely done by my back is sword to eat that ultimate so that Bradley did not take it, as he's the one who had aggro. So Queen Tower Dive coming out TMG there. So pretty spicy game, this game so far. Really scrappy. Not everything is really ending up in kills though, which I like to see too. Because that just means either the aggressor is playing badly or the aggressee played it perfectly. So either way, it's entertaining and fun to watch. But 12 minutes in here, let's take a look at some items. We got Protobell finished up through Kali, which I think is best item in slot for her. I know some people like to go Dark Harvester, I think it's called, or Death Harvester, or something like Night Harvester. And then no other mythic on the side of Angie just yet. I would assume that will be a Frostfire coming out for Sejuani, which I think is the right move. Yon doing a chunk load of damage, doesn't need the CC. I would assume that's an Eclipse about to be finished up for the Zed. And I would like to see an Everfrost coming out of the Morgana, just a little bit more chain CC. I don't think you need a Leandry's this game. In fact, I think if Morgana builds Leandry's, he's trolling this game. I would expect that to be a Gale Force coming out of Tristana. So that was very nicely done by Really Bad Zed. One thing I think Morgana could have done better was to maybe ult as soon as she got hit by the Q. Or ult as soon as she saw his ult come out. Because it would have locked him under turret. If she would have just been a little bit quicker about her Black Shield as well, it would have been a little bit better. Nice gank coming out from Crimson Chin and Lamb Chops in the mid lane. Taking advantage of the no ultimate Yon. So big play coming out of Lamb Chops and Crimson Chin. Yeah, I think Zachary could play that just a slight bit better. It is hard to have reaction time like that though, especially when you're kind of panicking. So really no fault to him. And then Gale Force is picked up for the Tristana. Pretty standard coming out of the Yon and the Zed as well. Eclipse and Shield Bow. Yon is full build now. GG. Yon wins. Shield Bow is so good on that champion. Ezreal opting into my favorite build for Ezreal, the Divine Sunderer. And I think that is the right way to go. The pretty massive beef cakes of Sejuani and Leona are going to be hard to cut through. So I think that definitely is a good build to go this game. So Crimson Chin up almost 40 CS on Sergeant Mithril here, and 2 kills and an assist. So quite a bit of gold lead on Crimson Chin. About 1,500 actually. Pretty substantial. Really Bad Zed about 200 gold up on Lamb Chops. No, Really Bad Zed about, 500 gold up on Zachary. My back is sore, about 300 gold up on Lamb Chops. Scoob has the gold lead in bot lane, which is kind of surprising. Well, I guess not really that surprising. Big play coming out of Lucy, Lulu, and my back is sore. Arch Electric kind of there to support my back is sore doing most of the damage in that fight. Another big hook coming out of Lucy Lulu, and that's just Scoobs kind of being out of position, but he does turn it around. This will be a huge bomb, but it is Zonia's. Nicely done by Lucy Lulu. And the hook comes out. It did not land on anybody. And this will be a... Oh! Oh, no. That was such a nice looking play from Zachary, but he turned around just a little too soon. Oh no, that's so sad actually. Another big hook by Lucy Lulu, but it will be not going through. Oh, big ultimate coming out. Lamb chops, long range ultimate. There is no ward. I think they saw him go back into it, and he will just shadow out. Was that a 2v1? I thought that was a 1v1 between Morgan and Yon. Was that a 2v1? Ooh, Ezra will be caught out here. Scoobs is able to jump back out. Nice, clean dive coming out of ANG. Oh, sorry. I was focused on the bot lane. Nicely done by Bradley then. The Morgana went Leandries. I don't know how I feel about that one. I think there's just so many other ones that could be better. I get why Leandries is so like appealing on Morgana, but I think there's just better items that to accommodate this game. I really think Everfrost was the play here. Just add an extra layer of CC, but this is all in hindsight. Like I said, this is just, yeah, well, I think Crown would have been fine too, but I think Everfrost is definitely best in slot for this game, hands down. I don't think Crown is that needed if you can be on point with your black shields. I think that adding an extra layer of CC for like Yon or Ezreal is huge, and a really big pickup by ANG onto the really bad Zed there. Nice Leona ultimate with the Sejuani follow up. Yeah, but having that extra layer of CC on Yon would be huge this game. Absolutely huge. The Hex Gates have activated. So this will be a Hextech Dragon Soul. I think it's a really good soul for the side of TMG. Not so much for the side of ANG. Trevor, if you're around later. Yeah, no, I would agree, Jello. Trevor, if you're around later, can you show me how to set up an overlay for the stream? Ooh, big play coming out of Scoobs. Uses his Gale Force. The hook almost lands. That would have been a really nice play by Lucy Lulu there. But nicely done by Scoobs, using that Gale Force to just add a little bit of extra damage. It looks like they're able to get the tower before he goes down. And another kill. Scoobs playing this Tristana beautifully. And I really do like the Collector pickup here. LDR would have been fine as well, but I think going Gale Force into Collector on essentially what's going to turn into be an Assassin Tristana. Okay, sounds good, Trevor. Wow, Sejuani doing a lot of damage to my back sword. That one does not feel good. I know firsthand just how much damage Sejuani can do if she gets her double frozen procs. Yeah, that one, no one ever expects that one, Trevor. There no hard feelings about that. You got 100-0 by his head. Yeah. That's just her double damage. Yeah, no, that's just her double damage thing. If she gets her first proc through autos, she can proc it and then ult you for another one. So she essentially just does 20% max health with just that. Yeah, it's actually nuts. Like, Sejuani damage is actually nuts. Like, I love playing your top lane for that reason. Someone just blew a flash. I wonder where, though. It was Thresh, so I'm assuming it was to dodge, like, a Leona E, probably? Yeah, it's like, Sejuani is actually nuts. A nuts champion. Alright, let's take a look at our items here. I don't know about the Axiom Arc, Trevor. I think going into Sorelda's is probably a better move here. Yeah, Sorelda's or Edge of Night, I think, was probably the better move, but, looks like we have Zonia's being completed up for Crimson Chin here shortly, if he doesn't die to the Yone here, which he just might, but Yone is not going to commit the ultimate. So Zonia should be being complete up here for Crimson Chin shortly. I would assume another tank item for the Sejuani. Sejuani getting caught out here. Nice chain CC coming out of Sergeant Mithril. Big damage coming out again. Almost gets one shot once again by the Sejuani, but he will be taken down. That was a pretty good play, Trevor. Nicely done. Oh, the exhaust is too strong. Nice look coming out of Tristana, though. Knowing just how much damage you can put out, that's always a really good quality to have in an ADC. And looks like Yone was gonna look for the play here. The stopwatch is broken. If he looks for the play here, so and Crimson Chin almost playing that really well. Oh my God, Yone picking up 2 for 1. Nicely done. You have to get some heal cutting. I guess Akali had it. Maybe just not enough CC. I don't know. Bradley just played that really well. It looks like Bradley will be going into a Death Stance next, which I think is an absolutely busted item on either Yone or Yasuo. It doesn't matter, just with how their kit works. And I'm assuming that's a Warmog's coming out for Sejuani. I don't think that's a good second item buy. I think getting some sort of more resistances, probably like a Thornmail or something like that, would probably benefit her a lot better here. Nice pick going out onto Lucy Lulu here, but they just don't have the damage. None of the damage dealers are on the side of TMG right now, and they are just getting taken down, eaten alive by both the Dragon and TMG. Akali is here, though. Can she clean it up? That's a big chunk of damage going out from the bomb. I don't think anyone realized that the bomb was on there. I think Randuin's would be a really good buy for the Sejuani here. Yeah, I would agree. Lowering that crit damage. But I think getting anti-heal is also really important going in to these team fights. Ezreal definitely goes Bloodline. You got Shield Bow, you got Eclipse. A lot of healing, actually, on the side of TMG. I don't understand why some, like, I get the appeal behind this item. I really do. The extra damage is really nice. You're playing the semi-pick comp, and I understand that. Like, you want to just be able to burst the person you CC down, but the extra armor and the extra magic resist and the giant shield to get from Locket is just too good, especially going into a team like Ezreal, Yone, Zed, and Lissandra. Nice ult by Yone, by the way, to get out of that one.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the Frozen Heart on going on to Leona would have been really good, because she kind of gets into like thick of the team fight, and then Sedge needs to be like the damage dealing tank. I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say it's selfish, because it doesn't increase the damage you do. It increases the damage the enemy does, I believe, or that your allies do. Oh no, it's just 9% increased damage overall. But ooh, big play coming out Crimson Chin here. Looking for the Sandra kill. The Morgana Bite does land even before the ultimate comes out, but this will be Sergeant Mithra going down to Crimson Chin. They might try and start the Baron here, but they have no one really to tank it. And they have really no hard way of keeping Sejuani out besides the Thresh, who's their only tank. They do have the damage, it seems like. But the two beef. Oh, field gold the hook. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think Locket was definitely the better pick here. Ooh, big Morgana damage. Ooh, a call again picked up by the Lucy Zulu hook. Big Yone ultimate coming out. The Leona comes over the wall. Nicely done, actually. Huge play coming out of Best Brendan with that Leona ultimate. Crimson Chin picks up a kill. The Wasandra is TPing and to try and hold this turret, but the Baron was picked up for ANG and no one fell either. All 5 members of TMG, ANG have the Baron. So ANG looking pretty solid. Going into the late game here. They're taking these even fights. They're winning some fights even. So really big play coming out of ANG. And I don't think TMG played that fight badly either. Yone had a pretty solid ultimate. Wasn't able to hit the Akali before she was able to Zonia's, which kind of sucks. But I feel like they played that as well as they could have in that scenario. So that was just ANG playing very well. Alright, time for another item rundown here. We got the side TMG, we got the Saracen Brace finished up for Lysandra, which is not a normal item you build on her. So that's kind of interesting. And then the Luton's Echo. When I think Leandri's probably would have been the build. And then working towards that, I'm assuming Banshee's Veil. On the side of Trevor here, we got the Eclipse, we got the Axiom Arc, and we got the Edge of Night. Edge of Night is a really strong pickup into this team comp. We got IE, Shield Bow, and I'm assuming Death's Dance will be completed here soon for the side of Really Bad Zed. Divine Thunder and Mirror Man have picked up for the Ezreal with the Caulfield Warhammer, which I'm assuming will go into the Soreldas. And then Locket picked up for the Thresh. Morella's third item for the Crimson Chin in the top lane. I don't think that's terrible this game. Big pickup by Yone onto the Tristana there. Pretty much just 100 to 0 scoops. The Morgana Bind misses, but they do have the flank. ANG think they have the flank here, but they are actually getting collapsed on. Nope, they took the long way around. Lysandra has to flash over the wall. I don't think they realize that Yone is here though, but Yone is hit by the Sejuani ultimate. Hugely done by ANG. Is Yone able to pick it up? They are not. Zed will fall as well. So these fights are just going the way of ANG. This is actually really well done by ANG. They played that fight really well. I think a little bit of miscommunication between the members of TMG, not knowing which way to go around that Raptor pit. So, honestly though, ANG played that really well. It was a shame that the Yone face tanked the Sejuani ult. But, yeah, very, very, very nicely done play by ANG. I think Everfrost would have been a lot better for Lysandra as well. Or Leandri's. Everfrost or Leandri's on the Lysandra this game over Luden's, in my opinion. And Archangels, I don't think you really need. I think just going Everfrost or Leandri's into the Zonias would have been a much better play. Allows you to be that playmaker for the team. to dive in there, get your ultimate off, get your W off, get your Q off, blow your load, and then essentially have 2 stasises. So that's actually a pretty big item spike for Lissandra when it can come down to it. But yeah, I don't know. The randomness is picked up for Sejuani, so good call on that one, Jello. Or my dad beat me. I don't know. My dad beat me too. It's okay. Yeah, I would agree. I think Fimbulwinter on Lissandra is actually something I've been meaning to try out. Kind of like a more bruiser Lissandra build. My back is sort of looking for the aggressive play here. Akali looking to flank, but will back out instead. And they do see the Lissandra hovering over the wall there. So I think that's why they decide not to go for the play. Ooh, big flash hook coming out of Lucy Lulu, and that will be Zachary Zink going down. And Baron will be spawning here in about 50 seconds, so Zachary will be up for that. But I think this is not really a strong Baron taking team unless you have 2 or 3 of the side of ANG dead in the first place. Sejuani taking a really... Ooh, big damage coming out. The Leo doesn't stun, but it does hit a couple to slow him down, but they decide not to do the full-fledged engage until Zachary is back up. I don't know how I feel about the Zeeks. Pretty sure it just caused an auto attack burn, doesn't it? Like almost his attacks on hit. I'm like, okay. Ooh, Crimson Chin make a really nice play into Lucy Lulu there. Has the Zonias to stop going from taking her down, but she will fall. Oh no, she's still alive, but she is taken down eventually. Nicely done. Ezreal falls in the back line to Sejuani. Leona looking for a little bit more here. Zed is on the side though. Tristana is still alive, and this will be Yon going down as well. Nicely done by ANG, winning these team fights. Really big play set up there by Crimson Chin. He does end up falling, but he sets up the fight, and they end up winning. And 2 for 4. I think that's like the third 2 for 4 this game for the side of ANG. And his towers just melt to Tristana. Hook doesn't land. Sreldos is picked up for the Ezreal there, and Death Stance is also completed for the Yon. He has an RBS sword, which I can only assume is going to go into a Bloodthirster. Trying to just be this heal tank, hardcore DPS carry. That Yon is kind of known for. The Everflame, that's what it's called, right? Or Shadowflame, not Everflame. Shadowflame is picked up for the Morgana, which I do like. I do like that going into this team comp. Let's see. It looks like, ooh, another nice hook coming out of Lucy Lulu. Morgana will be falling down. Nice collapse by TMG. Lucy Lulu landing these crucial hooks in these past couple of fights. And it looks like, what is that item called? I think this goes into Shadowflame, doesn't it? Yeah, I think Crimson Chin is working on a Shadowflame as well. 4 items completed for Tristana. Got that Fantastic, got the Gale Force, IE, and the Collector. The Steel coming out, but it does not land. My Backusaur is able to get it, and they are hard committing to this fight. Tristana in the backline is able to shred, but will be one-shot by the Yon. Nicely done. TMG winning a team fight at the Dragon. A crucial team fight at that. Now they have this soul point and they have the pressure. Yeah, Lucy Lulu landing a lot of these hooks, Trevor. I'd let her play it again. Pretty solid. And they're just shredding this Baron. Who needs a tank when you can just kill it before it kills you? Am I right? honestly, both teams just playing insanely well this game. TMG finding a lot of really good early team fights. Going into this late game, it looks like TMG is, they're kind of scrapping out, like, you win one fight, I win one fight, you win one fight, I win one fight. And those are the kind of games I really have to see. The gold is almost dead even. Objectives almost dead even. Actually just a nuts game and really entertaining to watch. I really like AMG and how they look with this lineup. I think Charlie brings a lot to the team as well, and I think if they can maybe move around their lineup just a little bit, they might be able to do something here. But I really like how Old Girl plays. Honestly, I love Charlie. He's the greatest guy. He's really fun to watch, and I'm excited to see him come back next week. Ooh, nicely done by Scoops to ult the Yona way there, and he is gonna dash in, but he is taken down. It W's in just a little too close. Ooh, nice play coming out, Sergeant Mithril there. Flashes in, gets the ult down, and the Leona falls. And all the while, Lucy Lulu and Archlector in the bot lane here, duking it out. They do get the last proc of the shield. Ooh, Crimson Chin kind of messed up his combo there, but that's okay. The Sejuani all misses, but the chain CC will land. Nice, oh my god, nice thresh hook to keep the Zed alive, but he will end up falling anyway. That was a really clean thresh hook.
Rampage. Blue team's turret has been destroyed. Blue team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
Yeah, I think if they had Charlie for this game in place of Zachary Wink and Charlie's unique champion pool with like the really heavy AD mid laners, the Kled, the Wukong, stuff like that, these games would have been really spicy, like really spicy. So it's kind of a shame that Charlie wasn't here for this series. Alright. We are heading into about, like, what, 50, I think 60 second death timers now. So these next this next team fight is going to be a really crucial one. I would say whoever wins the next team fight wins the game. So AMG really needs to take it slow here, find the necessary picks. Pretty much just blow all your damage onto one person. And Morgana getting a little bit caught out here. Blows the ultimate. And the chain CC is coming out. This will, oh my god! My Bagastor getting taken down by the Morgana Sejuani. And Crimson Chin is riding it. Is getting CC'd down though. Oh no! That was such a nice look from AMG. But they're playing this team fight so badly, and that will... I don't know if they're able to end here, but they probably will be able to get the soul. Tristana is still alive, though, and she has that GA. She can go ham here. Hopefully her team backs her up. Ooh, and this will be the thresh going down, I'm assuming. Morgana execution damage on the W is really strong. And they are kind of just dancing around the dragon here. While the base of TMG is being destroyed. Oh, yikes. This is not a good feeling for AMG. You have to give the soul point. You have to give it the soul point. You have to give it up. Your base is dying. And they get it anyway, and you just go down here. Oh, wait, no. Tristana flashes out. Is able to pick up the kill onto Cassandra. But will that be enough? The Morgana ult comes out and stuns the Ezreal, but isn't able to do much more than that. There are 3 members on the side of AMG up. Oh my god, and this will be Trevor going down as again, I believe. Nice ultimate coming out of lamp shots, but Yon is one tanky dude. If he gets the kill on the Akali here, he will heal a bunch back, and he does. That is some massive healing coming out of Yon, and he is going to 1v3 this one down. Thresh is on his way, but he doesn't do nearly enough damage to the Sejuani here. One tanky champion. The hook does come out. A lot of CC. And this will be Sejuani going down, and it probably will be the game. Wow. Bradley on this Yon making plays, putting the team in his backpack. But honestly, everyone kind of had the role to play in this game, and Bradley just taking down Scoots once again. Everyone kind of had a role to play in this game, you know. Trevor's was get picked, blow their CDs, and miss his combo. That was Trevor's goal this game. He was a CC bot. Yeah, I'll eat all their CDs as long as you guys can win the team fight. That's all that matters. I'm just gonna drag this over so I can keep an eye on the chat. Yeah, honestly, that was a really fun game to watch. Really scrappy. Everything kind of became tooth and nail towards the end there, and those are definitely the games I really like seeing. But I do gotta say, ANG looked really good. TMG is one of the top ranked teams, so no survivability, but she pretty much had 3 tank items against their carries. Like, you saw how long it took Yon to kill Sejuani simply because he didn't build a Lord Doms. So I don't know. I think Demonic Embrace is fine. And he was pretty much one-shotting people. So I don't know. I think it was a fine buy, but there were some questionable item buys in that game. I think Everfrost on Morg would have been a lot better. I think Leandry's on the Lissandra would have been a lot better, or Everfrost. Yeah, there was some questionable item buys. I think Axiomark second on Zed is kind of troll. Just a little bit. Just a little troll. Especially going into a double tank frontline. Serelda's would have been a lot better, or Edge of Night. But yeah, if having some troll second items or mythics makes for an exciting game, I'm down for that, because I would much rather have an exciting game over people optimizing builds. And Reese is probably off triggered somewhere with me saying that, but that's okay. But honestly, really exciting series. TMG coming out 2-0. But they were pretty close games, to be honest. Like, that second one went about 42 minutes or something like that. Like, with really scrappy team fights. The gold lead at the end being, I think, like 3 or 4K in favor of TMG. Simply because of the Nexus towers going down and the triple kill for Bradley. So everything was really tooth and nail there up until the very end. And I really like those games. So ANG looked really good with this lineup. It seemed like their communication was really there. And if they get that shot caller in Charlie back next week, they can look really good. It seems like they're really coming into themselves as a team. Crimson Chin making a lot of really good plays too. Scoop's making a lot of really good plays, and then Zachary on that Ashe game was really nice. Played that very, very smoothly. Kind of got picked on in the second game, but you kind of have to expect that in the mid lane. You know, like every mid laner knows you are essentially just like you're a gank magnet. That's essentially all mid lane is. So yeah, really fun series to watch. Congratulations over the TMG for the 2-0. And honestly, like, congratulations over the ANG too. You guys seem to really be coming into who you are as a team. So, and we really like seeing that. All right, I am going to end it here. Thanks for everybody. Um, Thanks for everybody that tuned in and chatted and all that stuff, and all the new viewers. And if we had any, I don't know. I shared it with a couple of people. A couple of people asked for it, so hopefully we can get some new viewers and not just the beer league people. But yeah, all right. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you